As always, I like to start off with a little opening rant, right? Everything, one of these things. So, yeah, I know we're living in this coronavirus time and everybody's quarantined and everything else it is, right? So, I'm scrolling through social media and everything else it is, and I come across this meme, right? Talking about during these times of quarantine, right? If you don't come out with weight loss and a side hustle, extra income, or a new skill, or a new whatever it is, right? You've been, take advantage of the time, this coronavirus time of quarantine to spend more time with your family and come out a better person and everything else, right? So I'm reading this. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Every single bit of it. Exactly. This is the exact kind of mindset and the mind frame that we need in this country, for crying out loud, and especially during these certain times, right? It wasn't even maybe 10, 15 minutes later as I scroll through social media again, right? And they've got a new meme already. It only took them 15, 20 minutes at the most, right? And the masses have already got us, right? So the new meme is, they've crossed out all of the side hustles and weight loss and time with your family and everything else it is, right? And it's, if you don't come out of this quarantine scratched without a new hustle, if you don't come out of this quarantine scratched without weight loss, if you don't come out of this quarantine with a new skill scratch, then hey, you're just suffering during these times, and it's okay if you don't come out with anything new. These are just trying times, and that's just what the world's where we are. Lord have mercy, people, Lord. This is exactly the world for which that I've been talking about, and that I am deeply, deeply afraid of. Ladies and gentlemen, I have this theory, it's called the myth of equality, right? And human equality doesn't really exist. Equality in all kind of means that really don't exist, right? People are different. Some people are naturally and sometimes unnaturally better at certain things and other things than others. The only thing that really makes human equality really exist is that we live and die. And death is the great equalizer. But outside of that, people are going to live different experiences. People are going to have, unequal wealth, unequal access, and unequal opportunities, taller, shorter, faster, smarter, you name it. The world is full of inequality. Right, but this myth of equality, or else it is, right? It's mainly just for the masses to make them feel better about themselves and everything else, as people would lose their minds. And it makes people feel bad in this emotional world that we live in. It makes people feel bad to think that there's inherent inequality out there. And I'm not talking about racial equality and everything else it is about treating people also as the same on a basic human level here. I'm talking about the natural inclinations, the natural productivities of the human condition, especially socially, behaviorally, and all the above. But it's the human condition. There's no equality. Some people are better than others. Some things. But we like to preach this idea of equality and everything else it is, so that the masses and people don't feel so bad about themselves and their existence that they can rush onto, well, you're no different than me, guy. We're all the same. Yeah. Are we, though? I don't want to necessarily live in a world where everybody necessarily has the kind of equality that which people talk about and everything else it is, right? So we get to these memes, roast it is, and if you don't come out and roast it is, then that's perfectly okay. Ladies and gentlemen, in crisis, just like in life, adversity is the great equalizer and will determine the widespread inequality that already exists in this country, right? Doers versus talkers, game changers versus shit talkers, complainers and excuse makers versus the active doers in this world and everything else. And this is another form of inequality that is going to be shed out during these times and everything else it is, right? The people who have always just have an excuse and a reason for why they could not. Those are the people for which we are confronted with on a daily basis. Those are the people who hate inequality and love equality. How dare you confront them with the fact that there's maybe somebody else better than them, smarter than them, stronger than them, faster than them, you name it, right? That's why we've come up with all these new vague, gray, I like to call them liberal terms, for which that just, we perpetuate this obscurity as it also is, so that there's no really strong absolute definitions of anything, for which now the bar just gets continually raised, for which anybody can qualify under anything. So now we've got this crisis and else it is on our hands, right? People have more time also it is than ever to be, not necessarily about work, even though Lord have our essential workers out there, we're definitely grateful. But people, a large mass of people now have an unprecedented amount of time now to spend at home, making themselves better, making their lives better. Are you spending time with your kids, pick up a new book, learning a new skill, whatever else it is, weight loss, whatever it is, whatever people complained about for months and months and months on time about what they did not have time to do, well, now you've got time. Oh, I would love to 30 minutes a day to work out. Oh, I would love to have 30 minutes a day to work out and lose this weight and everything else. Like, man, but I just work so hard. I just ain't got the time. I don't even got time. I can't even push play on Shanti for a good 30 minutes. A little 25-minute shred out. I just don't have the time, with work and time I get. And I get it, right? For the masses, the majority of people out there, especially the people who have kids and everything else, the family people out there, I get it. For the majority of people, right, you get up 7 o'clock, 7:30, what else it is, you got to get a little coffee time in you. You get the kids up, get them breakfast, you get them out the door on the school, you get ready for work, and you get on your way. You get off at 5:30, what else it is. You maybe stop by and grab the kids, or you stop at the market and grab a couple things for dinner, or vice versa. You get back home, you get the kids fed. Right, they get the dishes away, they go do their homework, you clean up, and else you put them to bed at 8 o'clock or so, 9 o'clock, you get a little time for yourself to watch a show on Netflix or whatever you're watching, have a little cocktail, and boom, before you know it, it's bedtime for yourself, and you get up tomorrow, and the next day you do it all over again, repetitive, day after day after day, same repetitive, miserable lifestyle, I get it. So yeah, carving out 30 minutes of time, where am I going to find the 30 minutes? I don't have 30 time to work out, or else it is to work on my craft, or work on my skill, I just don't have the time. Well, now you do. You got all the time in the world. People have been quarantined. We're working from home. People on these Zoom meetings in their sweats. You get all the time in this world now. What else it is to find that 30 minutes or find that hour. I've been wanting to read it for so long, but it's never the time. Well, now you got time. So now what's your excuse? The masses have already built in an excuse already. They're already telling people who are out there who are thinking, man, I need to use this time to get better myself, get a skill, a little side hustle, man. Now I got all this time at home. Man, I could drop like 10, 15 pounds right now. Now's the time. I should be killing it during this time right now. They already putting doubt in your head already. They're already starting to creep with that mass ignorant mentality, that herd mentality. They're already trying to get you. Now, don't you go out there trying to get better than everybody else during this quarantine time. How dare you come out of this quarantine with a little beat body and everything else, and when you get all smart over the last couple of months, having time to read and everything. Don't you do it. No. They'll get you for that. The masses will get you for that. How dare you shove inequality in their faces and being a better person. They can't have that. They don't want it. How dare you? So they're already planting the seed and stuff already. Right? For those who would rather strive for greatness and take viable opportunity, the winners of the world. Right? The active doers of the world. Not just the talkers, but the actual doers. They're already planting the seed. Don't you dare do it. Don't think about trying to become a better person. Well, heaven forbid. Use this time to become a better person or something else is like that. Oh, no. They're already trying to give you the excuse. Well, nobody else did. I mean, I'm not the only one who's going to come out of this quarantine with the same weight, if not more weight, or just as dumb as when I went in. I'm not the only person who's doing it. I'm not the only person who's knocking it. And here we are, already creating the condition to perpetuate the mass mediocrity and mass ignorance that's already plaguing this nation. You want to talk about coronavirus? We've been plagued by stupidity and ignorance for far too long and much longer. And now we're living in it. And it's perpetuating itself over and over. Mediocrity, ignorance, perpetuated in our society over and over. And quarantine and corona is bringing it out to us one more time. Once again, showing and highlighting the blatant inequalities of the human condition when it comes to just strength of will, work ethic, all of the above. Excuse makers. Losers look for excuses. Winners look for opportunities. And losers see adversity or else it doesn't come, and they're already thinking, shit, I can't do that. Oh, I try. And the majority are losers. Majority of are losers. Have an excuse before shit even happened yet. You're not even 100% sure, but you already got an excuse of why you're not going to do it, or why you're not going to make it, or why you're not going to lose it, or why you're not going to build it, or create it, or what paint it, or whatever it may be. Already got to build an excuse. Yeah, I ain't shit. And you'll find a plethora of your miserable friends on social media who are doing the same that'll justify your shitty behavior because they also will have come out of this quarantine with being no better than they went in. And thus, you guys can get together and drink Pabst Blue Ribbon and have great conversations about how you spent your quarantine life, and you all look the same. And boy, I put on 15 pounds. Oh yeah, me too. And have a great beer talk talking about that shit. And that'll be the majority. Just built in pressures. Built-in socialization to spread mediocrity and ignorance and everything else it is. Meanwhile, pointing to the outsiders of those who want to win. Losers and a loser mentality of just excuse-making, always have an excuse for everything. Winners find opportunities. Adversity. This is where greatness comes from. How you handle it and how you come through adversity. Yeah, I was home with shit all day. And the Rosa is working online, everything else is, man. But Rosa did, but I came out of this thing, I missed, drop a little 10 pounds. Rosa did bring me a couple books, man, a little read thing. I use my time wisely and shit. Everything else it is, absolutely. Winning mentality. Doers versus talkers. And just excuse makers. Blatant, worldwide excuse making on every single issue. These are the people for which we should be afraid of, and these are the people for which we need to be watching out for and highlighting. And you should find them, and you will find them. All you're supposed to be in everything else to this. For every good idea, they got some bullshit reason, like excuse of why they can't do it. Oh, we can save and build communities up if we all just donate out. Shit, that ain't gonna work. You mean you ain't gonna do it, is what they're really trying to tell you. Most people roasted this, what they're really trying to say is, I ain't doing that shit. That's a good idea. Oh, yeah, could be done. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Shit, I ain't doing it. And then somebody else going to do it. And they know the plethora of their mediocre average ad friends ain't going to do it either. So, again, they can all coalesce and get together and talk about how none of them are doing a goddamn thing. And it'll be binding. And the funny thing about it is that it's a binding, unifying factor. Just mediocrity, sloth, laziness, and shit. The rest of this, we're going to get together and have a good time about what? About how we all ain't doing shit, basically. And we're going to drink and have a good time about it and shit. Talk about it with all of our friends. It's all just a good time. We're going to assemble on our mediocrity. And we're going to assemble on our ignorance. We're going to assemble on the fact that ain't none of us really about really doing shit all that. Well, I ain't really trying to go out on no limb. I didn't really try to really put on no time, no sacrifice. And we'll unite and mobilize around this behavior and shit. And this becomes the mass herd mentality and mass behaviors. This is the current world for which we're living and everything else it is. This is also then the time for those of us and those of you out there else who are looking for a different way, who consider yourselves to be active, consider yourselves to be activists, consider yourselves to be doers. Now is the time. Now is the time for which coming out of this whole quarantine and coming out of this whole situation and coming out of adversity, this will be the time where those who are committed, who are about their hustle and about their grind and are true world changers, true game changers, this is the time for when they should, and I believe that they will shine. This is what we've been called to. This is when you answer the call right here. There's no better time than now. Everybody's at home working. You should be home working on your craft. If not now, then when? If not now, then when? It's a perfect opportunity. Stars be aligning, I like to say. You have to take advantage of fortune when the stars align and open up for you. That's when you walk through. Some of us blast through the door. Some people need a crack. Some people need you to hold the whole thing open for them. Either way, go through it. This time will demonstrate and will show us who those people are. And I believe, and I get it. I know I described a lot of people's daily lives out there with the kids in the routine. You got to go Monday through Friday, same shit every day. I get it. And you don't have time. Believe you me, if you're not interested, if you find yourself and you're talking about you're not interested, you're not committed, and I'm not really interested in doing, I'm one of those people. You know who the hell I'm talking to. You know who you are. I ain't even got to say. But if you know who you are, if you're one of those people not interested, you just want to continue to perpetuate the sloth, that this miserable behavior that continues to plague our country and everything else it is, I get it. You go ahead and do your work your 9 to 5 with your mediocre goals, your selfish, mediocre behaviors, and your selfish, mediocre aspirations. Go right on ahead, man. Knock yourself right on out. Hey, fine by me, man. You just go right on ahead. Just stay the hell away from me. All right. That's our first topic, right? Also,